Today I shall say about the topic. It's like I will say why I should have taken admission into Dhaka Medical College instead of BUET. Number of students in BUET in our time was 800 plus a little bit more, and currently it is 1300, 1200 or 1300, something like this. So, and Dhaka Medical College in our days it had only 150 seats, and they contained Dhaka Medical College. It contained the best brains of the country. It still does today. BUET also does almost the same, except for since BUET student number is huge, so when it comes to talent, the density of talent in DMC is definitely a little bit more than that in BUET, because I won't be saying that in departments like naval architecture and marine engineering or metallurgical engineering, I don't say that all the students of those departments have low IQ or low talent. Some genius also go there by accident. Uh, Accident incidents, many things could happen. Take me for example. In our days, CSE was number one. It had only 60 seats, and Triple E was number two. But since there was, during the admission test, since there was a sitting arrangement problem for me, interrupted my exam test. That's why I could not take a seat in CSE. I had to do it in AAA. So the same way, accidents could happen to many people, at least 10 to 15%. So other than that, actually, the lower you go, the lower is the IQ and also the common sense. It is somewhat like this, rich. There's a difference between rich people and broad-minded people. Why? When the thing is that poor people who in many cases, you will see they have a small mind, because they always suffer from lack of money, and they have a tendency to compare their life with others, especially who are well off, who have financial solvency. So when they do this sort of comparison, many ugly thoughts come into their mind, like how to take them down. And so you will see that there's a tendency among poor people to do some stupid things, like drawing unwanted attention, or trying to speak where they are not supposed to speak. In a way, everyone is poor, because when someone is richer than me, I'm also poor to them, right? So they do not want me to speak where I'm not supposed to speak. Suppose when I pass by the roads and I see a foreigner, that foreigner must have a lot of dollars in his wallet, and to me, I'm just a poor man, because I'm not that rich. I'm just a middle class person, or even could be lower middle class. The only qualification I have is a degree, bachelor degree from BUET. That's the reason I can sometimes call myself a middle class. Other than that, I lead the life of lower middle class. Okay, so to that foreigner, I'm just a poor person, and he doesn't want to talk to me. But sometimes I approach them and tell them which country they are from. So if this conversation is unwanted, then definitely I'm trying to bother them. So the same way, someone who has a very lower financial status than mine, they might also try to, some of them, I see that every now and then they have a tendency to harass me, to mock me. The other day, I had, I prefer to carry the shopping, bazaar bag. Let me show you what I mean. You see that? Yeah. Since my office bag, I guess I have lost it. I do not find it. So this is the bag I carry to office every day because it is very easy to open. It's always open, okay? And when I take an entry, punch in the metro, I simply open it and show them there's nothing special in there. And also I like it because when I return home from office, whatever products or commodities I have to buy, I simply buy them and put them here. So someone who takes a look at me when I return home, they might be thinking, this guy went to the shopping mall or the local, raw market, Kacha Bazar, only to do shopping. And if, in addition, if I buy another bag like this, and if I stuff those things with products my family needs. The other day I was having 2 or 3 bags like this, and I was having a ride, the easy bike, because I live in Rupganj rural area. So I have to take 20 taka easy bike ride from the main road, the union of Rupganj where I live, the main road from here. And when I got down from the easy bike, the driver actually mocked me by asking, do you have any more bags left? So he tried to point that I was carrying too many bags. So they don't usually see people carry that many bags. That's why. So see, I lead the life of a middle class person, even lower middle class. Still, people who think they earn less than me, they try to mock me. And by doing that, they actually establish the point that they are actually, in Bangla, what we call Chodolok, the mean people, the mean-minded, average-minded, mean-minded people. And the one characteristics of these mean-minded people is that they will try to take you down. They will try to cause you harm so that you also get their level. They have a very bad practice of comparing their life to others, and at the same time they are being lazy. When you struggle, take me for example, I live in Rupganj, Ulta rural area, but I go to Dhaka Farmgate to my office, and every day I commute like this. Sometimes I have to face the rains, and sometimes I don't have the transport because of, and also huge traffic congestion. I have to go through all these sufferings. But the local easy bike drivers or day laborers who cut the soil, they won't understand this pain of mine. They will work simply from morning to noon, like 12 p.m. or 1 p.m., and they take their payment, 500 taka or 600 taka, and they lead the rest of the day as just like a some people call here full. That means like a flower, like they are a open body. But where I have to return home sometimes at 11 p.m. and I have to go through so many hurdles. But still, these people compare their life to me, like they're thinking. Even some thinking that I am earning. Whoever is earning enough money, they're thinking that that guy is earning money in an unfair way. So you understand that. And BUET, the BUET people are many. Sometimes they ask stupid questions, like in a group. When I post about something like the other day, I posted about Monica Kobir. I tried to establish a point that the shoving between Monica Kobir and that random passerby, it was simply merely an accident. It was also a misunderstanding. Then there were people who came forward and said this was irrelevant. That's when I asked them, I told them, okay, if this is irrelevant, then why don't you show one of your appropriate and relevant posts? And also other day, a BUET guy, he said that, he or she said that since I am getting a lot of haha on my posts and comments, I should be quitting. But they don't understand or realize that all these ha-has are not to mock me too. Okay, some of them were given because that person, those people had really, they had a pure laugh out of pure mind. They find it comical, very funny. That's why they laughed. So I don't mind when people find my posts funny, and if they choose to laugh or smile, especially laugh, I don't mind. And definitely there are some ha-has who are basically meant to humiliate me, to mock me. I know that, okay, but not all ha-has are the same. So a person who come forward to comment on my post is that I'm getting a lot of ha-has, so I should quit posting. This is simply absurd, and this is not appreciable. This is not expected from a BUET guy. Unless they have low, they somehow, by accident, they got the admission into BUET. And also, low IQ, that's it. Some people say that BUET is an institution of highly, high IQ with high brain. Yes, in some cases, to some extent, it is true, but most of them are actually average IQ people. They just work, studied a little bit. That's all. They memorized a few equations and new math problems, how to solve them, and a few chemical equations. That's it. That's how they got the admission. Not all of them are super geniuses. That's why BUET hasn't reached up to the level of MIT or Caltech these days. This is one reason why BUET people are definitely not that much, they do not have that level of IQ. Secondly, is that the infrastructure and the facilities or capabilities BUET has to offer to to its students. Uh, so that's it. That's why I think that actually I should have taken admission into Dhaka Medical College, because there they have only 150 seats, and the talent density is definitely huge, and it was very easy. It would be very easy on my part to take admission, because in our times in the number system, my SSC was in 1997, and intermediate in 1999. So in those days, Dhaka educational institutes like Dhaka University and medical colleges, they would take 4% of my SSC marks and 6% of my HSC marks. So I had a total of 88.22 or something like that, and I just needed 60 marks to take admission into Dhaka Medical College, the top one. Okay, so all I needed to do is to be a little bit serious, little bit. Just I needed to, but since I was not serious, I gave the admission test, and it may sound crazy to some of you that I even didn't collect the the result, because I already have taken admission into BUET at that time. That's why I didn't collect. Even if I had collected, I would not take admission into medical colleges. Probably I would have qualified for since I was not serious at all. So maybe a college like Maman Singh Everest Medical College. But if I was like a little bit serious and would have studied biology a little bit, then I would have definitely qualified for DMC. And someday I sense that yeah, I should have done that. And when I see that even BUET National University students get some math, school level maths wrong, that's a thing I can accept because of their level. But even BUET students do the same thing, I actually get surprised. I am surprised and disappointed. I had a few days ago, I had a post on that particular BUETian group. Like I draw an image pointing the direction of current changes for an AC current, and when there were not so many comments, but whoever commented, they agreed with me. Yes, in every second the AC current in Bangladesh changes direction 100 times. Nobody opposed to me. But then again, a few days later, someone WhatsApped me, messaged me that no, it is not 100, it is simply 50. 50 times of number of changes in 1 second. His reason is that he also drew, the same image almost the I1 drew, and he said that first direction of current change, it belongs to the previous cycle, and the third change of current direction, that belongs to the next cycle. So through the current cycle there is only one direction. Oh gosh, if this is the IQ of them, I think I can go I will go crazy simply. Okay, if you find it difficult to understand, if you assume that the first direction of current change, it belongs to the previous cycle, and the third belongs to the next cycle, only one, the middle one, belongs to the current cycle. Why don't you take 10 to 15, or 10 is enough, 10, take 10 cycles in a row, okay, and count total how many times the current has changed directions. It will be 20 or 21. If you divide 20 or 21 with 10, you will have 2. So on an average, each cycle the current changes direction 2 times. If you take even bigger number like 50 cycles, you will still find 2. In that case, the change of directions will be 100 or 101. Okay. So by comparing, by adopting this sort of analogy technique, this method, as a BUETian, as you are supposed to have a high IQ, you should have actually known that this thing, the answer is 2, simply 2 current changes, direction changes in every cycle on an average. So then you shouldn't be coming with absurd point that the first change belongs to the previous cycle and the third change belongs to the next cycle. This is absurd. Okay, this is why sometimes I become very frustrated with my fellow BUETians. Not fellow, if I use the fellow, I don't know whether it would be appropriate. I mean, my seniors probably don't comment, and my batchmates and people who are almost my age, they also probably don't comment on my posts. But the juniors, they do it, and sometimes they come up with absurd ideas and absurd notions. That's why I think maybe I should not have taken admission into an educational institute where there are like 800 or 1000 students. I should have been more selective, like DMC, only 50 students. They are almost of the same category, same type of level and IQ. Thank you guys for your time.